Hello, and welcome back to my humble show.
He looks grumpy, but he's purring. He's also cramping my style dramatically. And getting hair in my face. And on my lunch, which I am postponing eating at the moment because I want to record this video. I want to record this show. I want to react to some clips from TikTok, although they are being shared on Twitter by an account which is called Libs of TikTok. If you're on Twitter, you might have heard of the account already. They share all kinds of wild stuff from TikTok. Mostly clips of people ranting about various gender pronouns and that sort of thing. To be fair, the people you are about to see, whoever it might be, since I am just going to be scrolling and reacting randomly, these people do not represent every liberal, and I'm sure that there are quite a few liberals who would find this to be far too far left. And maybe the word left would describe it more accurately than the word lib or liberal, in which case, call it leftists of TikTok or lefties of TikTok or crazy people of TikTok. I mean, there are crazy people on all sides. Who's to say that I'm not crazy? We all think that whatever we're not used to is crazy. But there are certain ideas that I think we could all agree on if we have any level of normality within ourselves. We could agree that certain things are a little bit too crazy. A little bit too crazy. And the people who complain about QAnon and that sort of thing are likely to brush all of these clips off. All of these clips of liberals, of leftists. But the same could go the other way, too, right? If there is someone on the right who is calling out the libs of TikTok, the lefties of TikTok, they might shrug off, brush off whatever crazy content happens to be put out by QAnon. I have no problem calling it as I see it, regardless of who might be it. But it does seem like, in many cases, if not most cases, it does come more from the left than from the right. The so-called progressive wing, although I'm not sure how people define themselves anymore. I just want to randomly scroll through Libs of TikTok on Twitter and react to whatever I see. Just because I have seen a bunch of different stuff popping up lately. I have bookmarked some stuff. Other stuff I've just scrolled by, but I cannot scroll by any longer. So here is the account. If you're on Twitter, I recommend you following them because they put out some very interesting stuff. Frightening, but interesting. Libs of TikTok, as you can see. And I will skip this first tweet because it's just a pinned tweet. I want to get to the videos for the most part. What is this? Okay, the caption is, quote unquote, gender creative parenting is child abuse. I would agree with the caption. I would not agree with the person in the video, however.
What's the unpopular opinion that you have about parenting that you know is going to make a lot of parents mad?
If you've been following me long enough, you know what I'm about to talk about. I'm going to preface this with I am not telling anybody how to parent their child. This is specifically what I feel is best. And that is that gender creative parenting is a better option for parenting than assigning kids genders at birth and then having them tell you if it's different later. And I say that because by not assigning any gender at birth and treating their gender as an unknown, it gives them so much more opportunity to explore gender identity in all of its facets instead of having this preconceived notion of what gender is that was pushed on them based off of their genital appearance. So, again, not telling anybody how to parent, but that's my 2 cents. And that's why we're raising our kiddo the way we are. You don't have to like it, but you will respect it. And if you don't respect it, I'm going to block you real fast.
I can see that you're open-minded. Assigning kids at birth. No, you're just identifying and referring to your kid as the biological sex that they are and raising them accordingly, as you should. Not that she is going to do that if she has kids, according to her own logic or illogic. She is basically saying, she is outright saying that we should raise our kids. Oh, wait. She's not giving advice. She's not. She's just throwing this out there because it's what she would do. She would raise her kid as an unknown. That's one way to raise a kid who ends up feeling useless and meaningless and purposeless from childhood all the way into adulthood. How does that work? Do you have a kid and do you outright express this to them? Do you express to them that they are an unknown to you? You don't say he, you don't say she. You don't even say non-binary, because that's basically a statement about gender just as much as any other gender terminology is a statement about gender. So what do you say? You just call them an unknown? You say, hey, come here, my little unknown, do your chores. Or wait, do you even tell them to do their chores? I mean, if you're going to apply the logic of not restricting your child's freedom to their gender, to their sex, to their biology, why not apply it to anything else as well? And when your little kid says, no, mommy, or no, birthing person, I am not going to do my chores, you just say, well, you know what? Good for you. I applaud you. I appreciate you. You do you, my little unknown. You do whatever you want to do. And you know what? If you want, you can raise me. Not sure how that's going to work. But that's what happens a lot of times. Kids end up raising their parents. That could explain why the parents end up with the logic of children. Not that she has children of her own. I don't know if she does or not. She says, hashtag gender creative parenting. I don't think parenting should be creative in that way. She says, I'll never stop advocating for the way I'm raising my child. But wait, I thought you said you weren't telling anyone else that they should raise their child this way. Now you're expressly saying, I'll never stop advocating for the way I'm raising my child. So this is advice. Granted, it's terrible advice. Okay, I guess I've spent enough time on that one. What else? The White House has teamed up with TikTok stars, while some states are paying local micro-influencers for pro-vaccine campaigns. Oh, that'll be exciting. Libs of TikTok puts in the caption, this is great news for my account. Yeah, I bet so. Okay, what is this? Let me start it from the beginning. The caption reads, liberal white woman believes that liberal white women are the most important people in USA. I'm not so sure that is how she presents her message. Let's check it out. And no, this is not the woman.
What's something that people are not ready to hear?
White women are the biggest hindrance to moving racial equality forward because we have more influence over the raising of our children than anybody else, and white supremacy grows in our homes. And we are the ones teaching our children if only they would behave this way, speak this way, or dress this way, maybe they would have equality. And I will not argue this with anyone.
You will not argue this with anyone? Meaning you will argue with anyone. You just will not. be agreeable in any way whatsoever. When you say you will not have this argument, what you're saying is you will argue with anyone. It's just that you will give no inch whatsoever. And I'm not saying that we should all give an inch outside of us being wrong, outside of us needing to give an inch, or outside of us needing to listen, needing to be open to different ideas, not these creative gender ideas, of course, but more realistic ideas, especially when it comes to identity. This woman should speak for herself in saying that, what did she say again?
White women are the biggest hindrance to moving racial equality forward because
White women are the biggest hindrances. Well, you might be, considering that you are equating ideology with skin color. That seems a little bit racist to me. What you're saying is, well, white people, just because they're white, are the biggest hindrances. I disagree with that, except for the part about you being the biggest hindrance, because you are literally just drilling more racism into the culture, more white supremacy into the culture. You are saying, I get to decide the narrative in terms of race. Although, I'm not sure if this would be more accurately described as white superiority or white inferiority, because she is saying, in her all-determining narrative sort of way, I get to come to this conclusion. I get to make this statement about how all white women are the biggest hindrances. I get to decide that via my privilege. And also, well, we are the scum of the earth. Are you making a statement about superiority or inferiority? It's kind of hard to say, right? What I'm saying is, when we talk like this woman is talking, we are talking down to ourselves. In which case, we are treating ourselves as though we are inferior. But at the same time, we are determining the narrative. We are saying that, well, I'm saying what I'm saying about white people because of what I believe about black people or any other color of people. They are beneath us, and therefore we must realize our highly contentious position and stoop down and allow other people to rise up. That's what she's saying, really. Which is why I say it's kind of confusing finding the line between, well, is she insulting herself and other white people, or is she insulting people who are not white? I guess that makes sense. Well, what I said, not what she said. Here is someone else, and this goes right along with the previous clip. The caption is, "This is peak narcissism," and I have seen this clip, and I definitely agree. This is the epitome of self-centeredness and so many other dangerous things.
Dear white allies, white accomplices, woke white people who are putting in the work to dismantle white supremacy. Listen. Do not be surprised when and if your black and indigenous friends pull away from you, even when you haven't done anything wrong. As a matter of fact, accept it and expect it.
So she is talking to that last woman. I would love to see the two of them spend a day together. Maybe they know each other. Still, I would like to see how that works out for them. I would like to see what kind of ideas they put together. See how creative they are. What this woman is promoting is reverse racism, which is still racism and doesn't actually reverse racism. She's saying, well, white people may be our allies. They may not even be doing anything wrong. And yet, because they're white, we have had enough of them. So, accept it and even expect it when we say, Shoo, whitey, I'm done with you. Go away. It's my time now.
Every other day, a white ally or accomplice gets outed for their closeted and secret racism. And we are just tired. So there are going to be times and moments when we pull away from all white people because we don't need to be around any of you to save our sanity. And you just need to shut the fuck up and accept it. We're going to ghost you. We may or may not be back. Continue to do your work.
Is that not the most racist thing you've ever heard? Well, one of them. There are so many racist things being said these days, which are socially acceptable to say. But if you would say it the other way around, if you would just reverse the skin colors and say exactly what she said, you would be vilified by the same group of people who are pushing these crazy ideas. And they are crazy ideas. They are crazy ideologies. What else do we have here? Public schools are indoctrination centers. I'm not going to pull that one up. Sketchy stuff. Oh, here's an interesting one. I've seen this one going around quite a bit lately.
I made a really loud, yelly video about this, but I decided I will approach this in a more calm but stern manner. A lot of the people using kitty and pup and bunny self-pronouns are neurodivergent minors.
I wonder what she puts down when she's filling out paperwork. I really don't want to know. I don't know what kind of look she is going for. And I'm not going to insult her because of her look. There are all kinds of different looking people in the world. They are each valuable in their own way, but some people go out of their way to basically get in other people's way visually, which is what this is. This is a demand for attention. People want attention. There is literally no other reason to look like this other than to garner attention for yourself. Am I wrong? Or am I right? All right.
It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel a disconnect from being human and from the societal expectation of the gender you were assigned.
To feel a disconnect from being a human. Did I read that correctly? It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel disconnect from being human. Okay, maybe this person does not feel human, which would explain the look.
You were assigned at birth. So when you have this intersection of feeling a disconnect from being human and a disconnect from the societal expectation of gender, whether you're neurodivergent or not, a lot of people have this experience who are neurodivergent. It's just very common with neurodivergent people. When this intersects, you get noun self pronouns and animal noun self pronouns.
When this intersects, you get noun self pronouns and animal noun self pronouns. Again, I don't know that this is the majority of people on TikTok. I don't believe it is. But there is an increasingly large number of people who think like this, who act like this. People are confused, and people are delusional. They're not living in reality. They're living in their own reality, which isn't actually reality. They're living in their own self-defined, self-determined version of identity, which they label according to noun self-pronouns and animal noun self-pronouns and any other kind of pronouns I could imagine. I guess I could be like the kitchen sink. I could identify as a kitchen sink, right? Add that to the DSM. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
If you are not comfortable using someone's pronouns because you assume it's kink for some weird ass reason, don't interact with them and just shut up about it.
Okay. So if you find anything that she is saying to be crazy, just shut up. Just shut up. And let her talk. Because there is no room for reason anymore. There is only room for the unreasonable. Matt Walsh had retweeted that and said, as always, the slippery slope argument is vindictive. Some of us warned that eventually people would start identifying as animals and we'd be expected to take it seriously. Well, here we are. It took less than 5 years to get to this point. This has been building up for quite some time. I have not seen this one. Caption reads, "This is a cult." Let's see if it is.
Don't be sad, go get a tattoo. Don't be sad, go get a tattoo. Don't be sad, go get a tattoo. Don't be sad, go get a tattoo.
Okay, that was a waste of time. That's just a Bernie Sanders tattoo. Yeah. I don't know about cult in that case, but it's a bad idea. And I say that as someone who has no tattoos, so I don't exactly speak for the tattooed community in terms of choice of tattoos. If I had a choice, I would choose no tattoos, which I have obviously chosen. But hey, I have got to go back to work now. I said I would keep this one simple. I think I said that. So, true to my word, as you have heard, keep in touch, keep in tune. New content is coming soon. I might make another one of these reaction videos again soon, where I'm reacting to clips on the Libs of TikTok Twitter account. Check that out if you are on Twitter. If you are not, well, like, subscribe, and enjoy the ride, as I always say. Feel free to disagree with me on anything. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What is a cult and what isn't a cult? Some of those same people would say that I'm in a cult because I'm a religious person, because I'm a Christian. They would say that I'm in a cult. Are they correct? Am I correct? Who is correct? Am I out of my mind? Am I living delusionally? Or am I living in reality? I'm not living based upon some sex that I was assigned at birth. No. I'm a man because I'm a male. And I'm a male because I'm biologically a male. That's what male means. It means you're biologically a male. It means you biologically differ from a female who is not biologically a male and therefore is not a man. Simple as that. So whether we're talking about these gender theories or whether we're talking about these racial theories, they're slightly different, but they can be bunched together, and they are ultimately, which is why the LGBTQIA plus whatever is next community is also lumping in all of the racial narratives. More to come. Thanks for watching. Peace.